All right, guys, you ready? We're going to be jumping into a live reaction. If you're not on the live streams, come join us. We're having some wine, just chilling, hanging out, and we decided to react to, this time, Falcon the Winter Soldier, episode 6, breakdown from New Rockstars. Let's do it, man.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss, and this is a breakdown of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 6, the finale, One World, One People, in which Captain America Sam Wilson dresses up in home team whites, U.S. Agent John Walker is back in black, and Sharon Carter did to my theories what she did to that Flag Smasher's face. Look, folks, my favorite part of this has always been to just go back through the episodes and point out all the interesting details that you might have missed. And this finale is filled with little stuff that you can gnaw on, like Sarah's tiny potato slices or Zemo's gross Turkish delights. Okay, we open on the Flag Smasher.
I'm not a fan of Turkish delights. I'll be honest.
Marley's voiceover here is actually the same line that she spoke in Latvia last episode.
They're not going to stop. Not unless we make them. It's time.
Now, Erin Kellyman was more emotional then. Now they use an alternate take where she sounded more resolute and firm. Then a little moment with Bucky that I love. Sergeant Barnes. Nice. This officer respects Bucky's service and his rank.
I like that too.
Some people in this world really do learn from the history and Cap's Smithsonian exhibit, making it an even bigger deal when Isaiah's history will later become restored. Sharon Carter uses the same mesh face mask that Natasha used in Winter Soldier. It also appeared in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, while you could see Sharon's suspicious behavior in the post-credit scene as a setup for Secret Invasion, this mask to me signals that she herself is probably not going to be a Skrull, because then she wouldn't really need that kind of cloaking tech, right? But then again, apparently no one cares about Sharon's past history, so whatever. Notice how the Flag Smashers use these smoke grenades that glow green, and then Sharon talks about her deadly mercury vapor. She says, among other things that she uses on that Flag Smasher, that emits a green smoke. And then those locks that they use on the truck doors have 8 claws, and they're strong. They take several strikes of Bucky's vibranium arm to break. Remember, Batroc supplied this gear courtesy of Sharon after she hired him. And Sharon called someone on the phone in the post-credit scene.
Norman Osborn.
The menu, but we're about to have full access to government secrets, prototype weapons, you name it.
Thinking one of Sharon's trading partners and the source of this tech could be Oscorp. Normally,
I knew where he was going with it already.
Villains like Green Goblin, Norman Osborn, and my MCU theories, since all of those are Sony properties, and Marvel can really only do so much with them in non-Spider-Man titles. But Sony did just sign a deal with Disney Plus that makes that kind of future IP sharing a bit more likely. And by something for everyone, Sharon might mean a team of weapons tech manufacturers known for green glowing.
Don't get your hopes up,
armed reinforced metal
guys.
Gear that you could see someone like Doc Ock putting together. And this comes within a week of Alfred Molina talking about his role as Doc Ock in Spider-Man No Way Home. But before I continue, thank you to Vessi Shoes for sponsoring this video.
I got some Vessi shoes thanks to these, so you already made some money from me, bud. That you ain't getting more.
Sam Wilson
All right, here we
swoops
go.
in with his new suit.
I love this suit, by the way.
Now the music here evokes the Steve Rogers Cap theme, but it is a variant
What's up, Ryan?
that's unique to Sam. This suit's largely white design reflects Sam's look in the comics when he becomes Cap, including the half cowl. That shield magnetically latches to his back like Steve. And Sam being in white here creates an interesting contrast with U.S. Agent John
his
Walker.
outfit reminds me of Kid Flash too. Like, why is it?
But black.
Sam as
And
a black
I don't
man
know.
in a world
Interesting.
historically
The whole like
seen as a
hair
white man.
thing open.
Walker
Anyway.
is a white man now donning the archetypal black hat. But Sam does not
Love
leave
it.
us guessing.
I'm sorry, wait, who are you?
Captain America.
I thought
Yes.
Captain America was on the moon.
Yeah, the guy calls back Torres' conspiracy theory that Steve Rogers was on the moon. This series never gave us an answer as to what happened with old Cap from Endgame, kind of treated the mystery as more of a joke, because I guess these Disney Plus shows can only do so much MCU world building. But for now, I'm just gonna go with Cap is in space with Nick Fury. So as the GRC diplomats are evacuated, listen to this voice blaring over the PA system.
Groups 1 and 2 will leave from secure vehicles in the base. Group 3 will leave via air support on the roof.
Maybe don't announce this while terrorists have infiltrated the freaking building. Like, imagine if
Right?
that happened at the Capitol. Actually, maybe don't mentally compare what the Flag Smashers are doing to January 6th. Just don't. A Flag Smasher hands Bucky a phone with Carly calling via that Flag Smashers app, the app that Bucky will later use to trap the Flag Smashers. They must have thought a 106-year-old man couldn't work the app. They thought wrong. Carly asks Bucky,
I'm fighting for something bigger than myself. Have you ever been able to say the same?
You don't think I ever fought for something bigger than myself? That's all I ever tried to do. And I failed twice.
yeah, Bucky fought freaking Thanos, you dummy. Losses, they refer to his losses in Infinity War and in World War II. You could argue, though, I don't really know if it's fair to say he lost that. Really, every fight this dude fights has been over something bigger than himself. Sam subdues Batroc by kick-flipping the shield and then tossing it out the window first to break it before swooping back out to catch it. This is also kind of how he had to enter the building, by smashing the window.
I loved that entrance exit.
Had just given him a vibranium head covering instead of leaving his scalp weirdly exposed. He wouldn't have to worry about smashing through the glass himself. He's made of vibranium at that point. Sam uses Red Wing to scan the GRC hostages, and on the screen you can see her name, Ayla Perez. She has a background in the Philippine Air Force with experience flying both Apache and Chinook helicopters. Chinook helicopters are twin rotors. That tells Sam that Perez has experience with multiple types of helicopters and that he can trust her to climb into that seat and pull it out of a dive, even though that would probably be very difficult for anyone other than Tom Cruise to do. Sam saves the NYPD pilots, shielding one with his wings and the cap shield on top.
I love it.
Designed this to be a perfect interlocking vibranium seal. John Walker shows up with his cosplay shield, his Medal of Honor welded on the inside. Yeah, notice how this shield has a lighter, more tinny sound than the deeper, mystical hum of the vibranium.
John.
As Bucky falls into the construction pit, he screams, echoing his scream as he fell from the train in the first Cap film, the scream that inspired his Winter Soldier wail, which we have not heard on this show since his Wakandan campfire going clear moment. And since he is no longer haunted, Bucky now sticks. Shirt is still
visual
available,
storytelling
along
right
with our
there.
amazing new Zemo design.
This isn't it, right? Okay. Usually they don't do their merch pitch till later.
Support us this way at newrockstarsmerch.com. So Carly tries to murder hostages.
I'll catch up on chat here in a second. Once it's over.
And notice composer Henry Jackman brings back his theme from Civil War here to underline Walker's come to Jesus moment, choosing to save the hostages instead of seeking revenge on Carly. Though I should say, after what he did in episodes 4 and 5 for John Walker, it's not really come to Jesus as it is Jesus actually pulling away his mesh face mask to reveal it's Mephisto underneath. It's going to hell. But Walker's choice is emphasized by what he does let drop his cosplay shield. It's beaten and limp. But when the truck goes loose again, it's the true shield that lifts it, framing the shield like a rising sun, saving these lives. An inverse of the way John Walker framed it, eclipsing Nico and ending his life. Sam uses his drones for a boost similar to Iron Man's drones in Spider-Man.
Yeah, since he doesn't have super strength.
With his suit, Sam is truly a fusion of Captain America and Iron Man with the vibranium tech of Black Panther. An onlooker watches this, calling him Black Falcon, like the kid in Baltimore in episode 2. Bucky catches a rebarb spear. I love how this dude catches pretty much everything hurled at him on this show. Walker with the shield on the truck, the knife in episode 4, the shield again in the fight last episode. Get this man a goalie mask. And then Sharon is revealed to be the power broker, a twist that seems both overly obvious but also pretty inconsistent with the character's past behavior and timeline. We go all into it in Inside Marvel, but hey, the good news is, according to this, Sharon Carter is now apparently the MCU's most brilliant mastermind who also makes things weirdly hard for herself. And if that's the Sharon you love, cool. Now, you could argue Sharon never explicitly declares herself the power broker.
Without us super soldiers, how much power does a power broker really have?
More than you.
So you're the power broker.
But Sharon kills Batroc only because he threatens to expose her as the power broker to the world. As a woman behind the curtain, she needs anonymity. And if she wasn't the power broker here, she wouldn't care what Batroc told people. So Sam shows up to fight Carly, anchoring his wings in the concrete, similar to Spider-Man planting his extra arms while fighting Thanos. But Sam avoids fighting her. He does these flips and somersaults, the same ones
He's
that we
so
saw
creative
in
with
last
how he
episode.
makes
So I love
up
looking
for
back
his
on
lack
that
of
training as
superhero
really
or super soldier
defensive,
serum
conflict-avoiding
with just
training. Carly
ingenuity.
says,
Stay down!
No.
yeah, similar to Iron
Cap.
Man saying this to the previous Cap in Civil War.
Stay down. Final warning.
Yeah, shame that Sam here doesn't say, I can do this all day, but I guess that's Steve's line. Walker quotes Abraham Lincoln.
Mercy bears richer fruit than strict justice.
Yeah, the president who oversaw the US Civil War, another sign that Walker is learning the lessons that these Avengers had to learn the hard way in their Civil War. So Carly dies in Sam's arms, holding the Hamsa pendant that she held at Mama Danya's deathbed. And as Sam carries her body, his outstretched wings evoke that of an angel delivering a soul to the afterlife. Or really, down on Mephisto, because she's going to hell. A lot of the reporters don't know what to make of Sam.
What do we call you? Is it still Falcon? Is it Captain Falcon?
Captain Falcon.
Falcon. Sam's big move in Super Smash would
Falcon punch. Falcon kick. Falcon shield.
So Sam lectures the
Sorry.
GRC leaders to change course, telling them that they gotta do better. And if I can do better and you can do better, maybe we all can do better. Hey, pretty great. Really, even deeper than Sam's great points are the fact that we are seeing a Black Captain America publicly speaking truth to power. It is
Yes.
a core component to Cap's character that we saw when Steve debated Nick Fury in Captain America Winter Soldier, or stood up to Tony Stark in Civil War. And Bucky acknowledges this evolution.
Nice job, Cap.
Calls him Cap.
Bucky pats the shield. He is both complimenting Sam by calling him Cap and patting the shield as a way of saying, nice job, Steve, for choosing this guy. And the last time we see Sam in this suit on this series, he soars across the frame with the shield briefly in close-up, gliding past us. Meanwhile, the rest of the Flag Smashers go, boom, you ready for this? Detonated by Osnick, Zemo's butler from episode 3. And this news gets to Zemo on the Raft prison from Civil War. He's wearing the same jumpsuits that they all wore then. On his shelf are a few books, Russian poet Alexander Pushkin and Views of Nature by Alexander von Humboldt. I guess this is the Alexander shelf. Meanwhile, the book Zemo reads looks like the one he had in his cell in episode 3, Fortune is a River, which explores the friendship between Machiavelli and Leonardo da Vinci in Renaissance-era Florence, Italy. Now, I previously speculated that this book meant that the Machiavellian Zemo had a secret partnership with some Da Vinci figure in the shadows. Someone like...
Val.
Our friend Zemo kind of got the last laugh.
Yes, Zemo's Da Vinci was De Fontaine. Since Osnick likely could not have arranged that bombing himself, it is clear Val must have helped.
Couldn't have worked better if I'd planned it myself. Well, maybe I did. No, I'm kidding, I didn't. Or did I?
So the fact that Val has been in touch with Zemo, who's on the Raft, a facility overseen by Thunderbolt Ross, tells us that our theory that Val could be assembling a team of anti-heroes like the Thunderbolts or Dark Avengers may still be happening. And by saying the Flag Smasher's deaths is gonna save a lot of paperwork, redacting, and shredding, tells us that she must be part of some shadowy government division as opposed to working for Hydra or something.
Right.
But Val has suited up John Walker as U.S. Agent, the dark-suited assassin. from the
I
comics
still
that we
think
expected him to
Hydra
end
is
up as.
gone.
Interesting to note, U.S. Agent also leads the Dark Avengers later in the comics. And Val ends by saying,
Things are about to get weird. So when they do, we're not gonna need a Captain America.
And guys, if you were here last stream,
A US agent.
this is exactly how I said this was going to happen.
well, one way to look at weird is that Val knows about the Skrull infiltration and that the secret invasion is coming. And in a world where no one trusts anyone, having an untrustworthy Dark Cap is more valuable. But Val also said last episode that the government's ownership of the shield is a legal gray area, making me wonder if she knows about old Cap and how he brought that shield from an alternate timeline, making it technically the property of an alternate timeline government. So maybe the weirdness she's referring to is a coming multiverse crisis, something that we could see more of with Loki in the TVA. Meanwhile, Bucky makes true amends with Mr. Nakajima and officially crosses Mr. Nakajima's name off the list, a list whose names that we have broken down in previous breakdowns, and he leaves that notebook as a gift for Dr. Rayner, leaving the frame with an empty couch and empty woods. Bucky is now out of the woods. Sam visits Isaiah Bradley again.
Oh,
Captain America, huh?
this scene, man.
Damn right.
And right as Sam says this, behind him, Eli Bradley enters the frame. Eli is a future Young Avenger Patriot, another Black Cap figure, but for now, he's still waiting his turn in line behind Sam. Meanwhile, behind Isaiah during the scene is interesting graffiti, the words, "Why me?" reflecting how both of these men had the burden of Captain America's legacy thrust upon them. Now, Isaiah brings up Martin, Malcolm, and Mandela, of course referring to civil rights leaders Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, and Nelson Mandela. But my favorite thing about this is this Atlanta neighborhood where they shot shot this scene, is home to where Martin Luther King was born. The famous MLK house is visible at the end of the street in episodes 2 and 5. So Sam brings Isaiah to his new addition to Cap's Smithsonian exhibit, including this plaque that details the history that Isaiah told him about, along with this old photograph. This shows Black World War II soldiers that actually inspired a panel in Truth, Red, White, and Black. I love how this bookends the shot that we saw back in episode 1, Sam's reflection as he stared at that shield in the display case. It was actually him realizing people who look like him have been erased from this history, as Sam's translucent form in that scene suggested. But now Sam has transformed this from an optical illusion to a tangible reality with this statue of Isaiah Bradley. And we celebrate with a family cookout, a reminder that fixing the Wilson family boat has always been a personal metaphor for Sam for restoring the legacy of the Shield, which he has done. As Curtis Harding's On and On plays, the final credit revises the series title to Captain America in The Winter Soldier. Then we get to this post-credit scene with Sharon receiving a full pardon to return to her old rank as Agent 13.
The Carter name has always been synonymous with service and trust. Welcome home, Agent Carter.
2 references there to Peggy Carter, Sharon's great aunt, who will show up in What If, and hopefully a future film with Steve Rogers in that alternate timeline. It was actually announced that a 4th Captain America film is in development from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier showrunner Malcolm Spellman, but that's probably going to follow Sam Wilson, not the Chris Evans Steve Rogers Cap films that may or may not be in development. And we end on another power broker tease from Sharon Carter talking to someone on the phone, maybe one of her Madripoor operatives or some other criminal group from the Marvel world. Hydra, 10 Rings, Hammer, AIM, Oscorp. Whoever this is, it's most likely setting up Sharon to return in the series Armor Wars, which Rhodey is going to star in this miniseries about the weapons.
Hey, that's what you guys said.
Wrong hands. But my favorite detail about Sharon's final moments, as she exits the courtroom, the camera suddenly slows down and she looks directly at camera. It is as if she knows how much her power broker reveal broke us. But I gotta hand it to you, Agent Carter. I had my doubts, but it was you all along. Hey, I want to thank everyone so much for supporting us throughout this breakdown series.
All right.
You can follow me.
Dude, so many great little catches, great little moments in that, man. Such a strong episode, emotional episode. I think it hit all the right beats. The only thing, like I said, that's weird and off is Sharon and her motivations, you know, because he pointed out too, like, you know, by helping Bucky and Sam, she was really shooting herself in the foot. Like, it's her own fault that the super soldier serum got lost. And the guy that could make it got killed. And she was killing her own men? It's so weird. It's so strange. But if she was using that masking tech, like some of you guys suggested, like maybe the people working for the power broker never knew the power broker as Sharon, so that she had her identity kept secret from the people she was home to and friends with, and had it secret from the people she was working with. However, she was on the phone speaking as herself to whoever that is, and unless there's some kind of thing happening on her phone, it's not masking her voice. So we might have some mixed receptions on some of that things going on there. I mean, everything else is like good. There's a lot of speculation in here. The whole Oscorp thing, it was kind of easy to tell where he was going with that. I did think of the pumpkin bombs when those things first opened because of the green glow and the way they looked. So I wonder if that is a nod, or if that's just another stretch that Eric likes to go on. We'll just have to see. We'll see how it all evolves. I mean, we got Cap 4 coming. We got these setups for all these other potential spinoffs. It's just going to be really interesting to see how and where Phase 4 grows and where things lead. The Sony deal does open the door for some potential partnership in some ways we haven't seen before. So there's a possibility there, but Sony's also been very back and forth. So, guys, lesson of the day, lesson of WandaVision, and always going forward, don't get your hopes up. Don't get your expectations up. Have fun with it, love it, but don't sell your soul to any given idea, because who knows what's going to happen. Destro's got it right there. I just don't want anybody... I just don't want another situation like that, because so many people's experience with those shows were predicated. Their final feelings were all predicated on what didn't happen as opposed to what did happen. So we'll see. we'll see you guys. But yeah, that was our live reaction to this. And to everybody who's watching right now, we're going to be continuing after this. This is just me selling out because I will be clipping this and adding it to the channel later. But thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, shout out as always to our big legends, Mandy Sherritt, Antoine Rodriguez, Ryan Karen, everybody else. Sound off in the comments your favorite moments, favorite Easter eggs, anything they might have missed down in the comments below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. I'll catch you guys in the live streams when you actually show up for the next video. Take care, everybody.